boys and girls, this is just a quick one. I wanted to give you two very simple tips for healing if you really want to accelerate the rate at which you're healing and moving on, which I imagine most people do. Most people are sick of it. They're like, I just want to get on with the rest of my life. What the hell do I do? One of the things that you want to identify, if you can, is something that I call the big no, in inverted commas. The big no is that thing in a sick family unit. Where I came up with the idea was from looking at sick family units. In a sick family unit, the big no is like a big pair of black curtains that sit there in the living room that nobody looks at, nobody looks behind, and nobody even mentions them because it's taboo to even address the fact that there is a big no, a black pair of curtains in the living room. Behind the black pair of curtains in the living room is denial. The biggest family secrets, the biggest things that you can never say, that if you do say, that if you confront the people in the family unit about those things, you'll create an explosive response. That's the big no, the big secret. It's like the elephant in the room, but these are things that it is absolutely verboten to mention these things. It's totally forbidden to mention them. That's in a family unit. In a human being, there are also big no's. There are big denials. There are things that you never want to look at, never want to see, never want to talk about. If you want to accelerate your healing, go there first. Go to the worst of them first, the biggest denial. The expression, you're only as sick as your biggest secret, is true. And if you want to start getting better, then you should start looking at these big secrets, these big denials. Get in there, look at them, process them. You'll find that if you have practiced a little bit of mindfulness, that you're capable of staying in the present, being in the moment, being inside your body, breathing in, breathing out, operating from your senses, not from your imaginings, from a place of sanity, from calm and from groundedness in the here and now. That if you can look at these things with a sense of humour, pathos, humanity, compassion for yourself, and forgiveness, they're not that big. They're not that big a deal. Usually it will be somewhat upsetting, there will be some emotional turmoil, but we can't run away from pain and emotional turmoil for our entire lives. Well, we can, but we'll stay sick if we do that. So a little bit of pain now can create a huge amount of healing for the future, which will have knock-on positive effects in all different areas of your life that you never would have seen before. So that's one piece of advice. That's like a direct, do this, go and find what these big denials, these big no's are within yourself, and approach them, open the curtain, look at it and go, what is it? What is it, demon? If you can name the demon, you can tame the demon. Okay, so let's look at it and go, is that all it is? Okay, fine. And then just laugh and let it go. Process it. Allow yourself to feel. It's important. That's a very direct tip. Go and do that. This is a more general tip for a general just way of operating when you're communicating with yourself and when you're communicating with other people. The second tip, the general tip for when you're communicating with yourself, is stop being so judgmental. Stop being so self-critical. Stop being so rough with yourself. You're violent with yourself, aren't you? If you're honest. If you're struggling to heal and you're struggling to move forward, as I was for years, I was actually very, very rough with myself. I was very violent with myself because I modelled my way of treating myself, the way of sort of nurturing myself or not nurturing myself, based on the nurture that I received or lack of nurture I received, the abuse that I received. And I was violent, I was aggressive with myself. I was perfectly capable of being kind and understanding and compassionate for other people's pain and suffering, but for my own, I was dismissive, cruel, contemptuous, and I would frequently talk to myself in a way that was quite humiliating and demeaning and belittling for even just having feelings or having wants and needs. Whereas if other people express those same things, I'd be super compassionate to them. So try, if you can, to stop being so judgmental and self-critical and rough with yourself. Practice a little bit of self-compassion, practice a little bit of, just control the way you talk to yourself, control the way you address yourself, and just think about what it is that you've endured, what it is that you've been through, how you would feel about if it happened to another person. So that's a good technique, which is the second person everything. If what happened to you had happened to another person, how would you feel about that person? Would you feel compassion for them? Would you have a sense of what they would struggle with? If they had been through the things that you had been through, would you think, my God, that must have been tough, and now you have to deal with this and this and this as a result of that? And would you feel something for them? And if you would, my suggestion is that you should be feeling that for yourself. So identify the big denials and look at them. You know, what's the thing that you're most scared of? What's the thing that you're running away from? What's the reality that you're running away from? And remember, these are realities. They're stark realities. Either something that happened to you in your past has already happened, a stark reality, or something that's going on right now, or something you're afraid of in your future. The fact that you're in denial about that is a reality. So the thing that's already happened is a reality in and of itself in the past. He gestures with his right hand because he's trained. This is a typically Western model of time flowing in one direction. If it's already happened, then there's nothing you can do about it. That's the reality of it already having happened. If it hasn't happened yet, then the reality is that you're still having those thoughts and those feelings. You know, you need to say, well, in truth, I actually don't believe I'll ever experience love again. In truth, I believe that my life is over. In truth, I believe that, if I'm being honest, I believe that actually I'm ruined and I can never be fixed. When you can interface with these realities, the reality of how you actually feel, or the reality of what you've already experienced, you can actually do that as an adult, look at it head on, dead in the eyes, name the demon, tame the demon, and process it emotionally. And yeah, do it from a place of non-self-judgment. Try and be less self-judgmental, less rough and violent with yourself, and try and be calm and look at things calmly and say, okay, it is what it is. It is that it is, and actually I can cope with it. Actually, it's not the end of the world that this thing has happened, or that I feel this way, or I think this way. It's just the way it is. De-dramatize it. Take out the more, you know, there are certain ways of thinking that people with complex PTSD have, like black and white thinking and like catastrophic thinking. Try and take those things out. Be human. Just be human, but don't just be human with other people. Be human with yourself. You didn't choose these things. You didn't consent to that. It's a burden that you have to bear, and you can heal from it. You can fix it. I know, because I healed from it myself, and I've helped loads of people heal from it over time. So the data is there. It can be fixed. It can be healed. So have some optimism. Okay, I think that's it for that one. Try and be cheerful. Dancing around and smiling helps. You know, if you ever get the time, if you ever get a chance to do it, you could try it. Apparently it works. And apart from that, what I have to say is thank you for your time and your attention, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you.